Good morning. I wanted to say happy Halloween to all of our Unity of Prescott youth. I'm going to be reading Alice and Greta, which is our Halloween story we read every year. Once, a long time ago, two witches live on top of a mountain. Although they both looked out at the same view, they saw things differently. Alice's outlook, like her clothes, was always rosy. Greta, on the other hand, was always on the lookout for trouble. She dressed in poison green, a color she liked to think was as putrid as her personality. Oh, how different Alice and Greta were. Alice and Greta had known each other ever since they were little witches at Miss Mildred's Mildew School of Magic. There they had learned the same spells, the same curses, the same chants, and the same brews. They just used their magic differently. Whereas Alice's spells were simply enchanting, Greta's were deviously diabolical. Greta never did her homework and often didn't listen in class. She was misbehaving as usual the day the class learned the most important lesson of all. Time passed, and before long, it was graduation day. Alice and Greta flew into the world to weave their spells and work their witchery. One day, Alice was flying high above the seashore when she spotted a sailboat stranded on a sandbar. She waved her wand in circles high above her head and whispered, "Come now, moon, and turn the tide. Take this family for a ride." A huge wave rushed towards the boat and lifted it safely off the sandbar. The family waved their thanks. On the other side of the world, Greta was using the same spell, just a little differently. She saw some children building a sandcastle on the beach. They had worked for hours on the towers, tunnels, and moat. Just as they finished, Greta waved her wand in circles high above her head and whispered, "Come now, moon, and turn the tide. Take this castle for a ride." An enormous wave crashed high on the beach, sweeping the castle into the sea. "Aha!" Greta crackled. Then she disappeared into a cloud as the children ran crying to their mothers. Meanwhile, Alice had come upon a small boy in a field calling for his lost puppy. Alice knew what to do. She waved her wand and chanted, "Alakazam, Alakazar, puppy dog, reappear." A sheepdog pup bounded out of the woods and into the grateful boy's arms. Alice smiled and was on her way. At that moment, Greta was busy being a bad sport. She had passed a school soccer team playing for the league championship. As one girl was about to kick a goal, Greta waved her wand and chanted, "Alakazam, Alakazar, soccer balls disappear." Not only the girl's ball, but every ball on the field disappeared. The puzzled players searched until dark, but they couldn't find a single ball to finish the game. Everyone went home perplexed and disappointed. Greta snickered and flew home to her cave, delighted with her dirty work. The next day, Greta was sipping her morning cup of pond slime. She was bored. It was time to stir up trouble. But where? She tossed a few things into the cauldron. When the smoke cleared, she peered into the brew and muttered, "Time to brew, time to bubble. It's time to stir up some nasty trouble." In the boiling potion, she saw a school playground and children happily playing. Greta jumped on her broom and flew off in search of the school. Within minutes, she arrived at the same scene that had appeared in her cauldron. Rubbing her hands with delight, Greta said, "The children are so sweet, but I can make them even sweeter." She waved her wand at the fluffy clouds overhead and cackled, "Icky, yicky, glocky, gloop. Clouds spilled down my sticky soup." With a crash and a flash, the fluffy clouds overhead rained down millions of melting marshmallows onto the children. At first, the children were delighted, but as soon as they realized they were stuck in the gooey, sticky marshmallow mess, they called for help. Greta just laughed and laughed. Alice heard their cries, and she appeared from behind a cloud, but before she could lift a wand to help, Greta spotted her. "Oh, no, you don't," she yelled, and pointed her wand. "Icky, sticky, gloppy glue, another sweetie for the stew." A million more marshmallows fell on Alice before she knew it. She and her broomstick were pulled to the ground and stuck fast in an icky, sticky mess. She was helpless, unable to lift her magic wand. Alice struggled, desperate to think of what to do. Then she remembered something she had learned in school. She looked hard at Greta and said these words: "Whatever you chant, whatever you brew, sooner or later comes back to you." Nothing happened, so Alice added a little spell of her own. "Make it sooner, not too late. Help me now, I just can't wait." With that, the marshmallows lifted off of Alice and the children and landed on top of Greta. The children crowded around Alice and cheered. To this day, Alice lives in her cave on the hill where the view just keeps getting better and better. And for now, Greta is stuck learning something she should have learned long ago. And that is our lesson, right? Whatever you chant, whatever you brew, sooner or later comes back to you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you all soon.